What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Back at
What
y'all
up, though?
again.
With another one, baby.
Can't take you serious. All right, so we go. I got my notebook out, man. I got my notes. You know what I'm saying? We
Okay.
go. Let me see where we at. All right. So I don't need the notes for real. I just did it for the, just to be extra. But so I heard that Imani Bates might just go straight to the D League. He might not even go to college.
Okay.
What you think about that? And what you think about that? Like as far as like that in general, and that from the aspect of players not feeling like they gotta go to college no more to get to the league.
Um, I feel like it's gonna end up being a trend. I think it's gonna end up being a trend because I feel like the NCAA, like you know what I mean, like they don't really, like with the way like the game is played. I feel like a lot of times when you go to these colleges, it's just like they looking at it like how you ain't getting, you ain't being reciprocated as far as financially when you going to these big time schools and like they
Yeah, they
using your
not they not
name and
yeah
they
compensated. You're not getting
and they
compensated, right?
yeah right, yeah compensated for they talents and like they making money off of these players hand over fist and shit. I can get the same type of I could get the same type of training, if not more, playing overseas and actually getting paid. A lot of these college students are actually struggling. You know what I
Right,
mean? And shit,
right,
like it's all about a financial game when it comes to this college institution, really.
right,
So like they don't want to be
right.
taken advantage of, and I feel like that's why what's the name went. I feel like that's why the Ball brother went. You know what I mean? Lamelo.
LaMelo. Right, 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 right. I
You
feel
know?
that. I think like I think I agree with everything you just said, but I feel like the NCAA missed their opportunity to give a little bit. So I feel like they're gonna lose everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you
You think?
settle out of court, it's like you end up spending less money than if you go to trial and they get more from you. You feel me? You
Right.
just hurry up, settle out of court, get it out the
Exactly.
way. I feel like if they would have just loosened up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, on some of their ridiculous whatever policies that they got, I think they could have kept the trend. You know what I'm saying? They could have kept it where college was the thing because the NBA really helped them
Right.
with the whole you can't go straight out of high school. They could have used that
Right.
and built on that to try to save college basketball for real because they could have they
Yeah.
had so now you're gonna get the Zions, right? You're gonna get the Imani Bates. You're gonna get them at least
Mm-hmm.
for 1 year. So if they could have came up with some type of compensation or whatever they could have came up with, loosened up the crazy the crazy stuff they got with like getting gifts and stuff and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like loosened up a little bit and became more
Right.
practical. They probably could have kept the players wanting to go to college because like going to college was like getting a record deal back in the day. Like you wanted that. Now everybody like I don't need that. I might just get a
Right.
distribution deal. I don't really need a record deal for real. So I feel like if they would have been a little bit
Real
more
talk.
lenient and they outdated dinosaur policies that they had, they probably could have kept the players wanting to go to college because they could have kept them. They had a
Right.
monopoly as being the basically the pipeline to the NBA. It was college, college. That was it. So I mean, pretty much, since I think the first player that wasn't from overseas to do that was what's old boy name played for Milwaukee. Dang, I can't think of his name. Guard, nice guard, left-handed. What was his name? No, I can't never remember players' names. Damn, you don't know what I'm talking about?
Milwaukee. Black dude?
Of course, yeah, man. What was his name?
Shit. OJ Mayo?
Nope, About the same size though. He was a little saucier than OJ though. What was his name? God, I can't think of his name, but he did that. He went overseas for a year and then went to the league. But that wasn't really a trend for real. Like, I feel like that really wasn't a trend for black American black players. That wasn't a trend. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like finding an avenue outside of college is becoming more of a trend. Like people trying to find a way around college to get to the league. Because the best and worst thing that happened was once players did it and was successful in the NBA, they're like, wait a minute. You don't have to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to go to be successful. It's not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't showing no difference between a player that find a unique route to the league and a player that take the traditional route. It was no, it's like LaMelo is the most successful ball brother thus far. And he went the most weird. His route to the league was like, what is he doing? Right? Like, what he went to the Lithuania? Then he was playing in his daddy league.
Right.
And then he was over here. Then he was over there. Then he was playing in the U League. It was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, like but Angelo did the same thing though. His brother.
Right, but it's not how you. It's not. It don't matter. At the end of the day, he got to the league and he's successful in the league. So you don't gotta do the traditional go to college no more because all they're gonna do is sop you dry, make as much money they can off of you, and then that's it. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I feel you.
You got any other?
Like you hit that shit right on the head though. You hit that shit right on the head though. You know what I mean?
You got any other outlook on that?
Nah, you said it all.
Well, shit, we can move on to topic number 2. What you think? What you think about? I can't take you serious with that wine glass though, bro. I can't. What you think about Blake Griffin signing to the Nets?
Man, I think this shit crazy. I think it's crazy as fuck. And the thing is, look, let me tell you some shit. The one thing I don't like about like the media is that
I knew it.
How they trying to discredit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, real shit. How the media trying to discredit his game and acting like he's just so washed up. This the same guy which a couple years ago was averaging 20 and some change. You got to remember, this nigga just came off of like a little injury and all that type of shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, can you hear me? Okay, you hear that noise in the back? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, all right, my bad. Somebody was just calling in and shit. But anywho,
you're gonna start putting your phone in airplane mode when you're doing this.
Yeah, I do. But long story short, I don't like the way that like they actually trying to act like this guy is just straight ass now because he's a Brooklyn Net. He was the same guy like when the like okay, so when the motherfucking word got out that Blake Griffin was gonna end up being let go of in Detroit, they was gonna end up buying him out and he was gonna be a free agent. The first thing all the headlines was kept reading was Blake Griffin going to LA. Like they was trying to get this nigga to commit to LA. All the LA fans and all the media was trying to put this narrative out there so the shit can actually come into fruition, right? But then all of a sudden, you started to hear rumblings that Blake Griffin was going to Brooklyn. Now you got all these whole ass niggas that starting to say he haven't dunked in 2 years and all this type of shit. But then y'all, this the same nigga that y'all was criticizing and saying he need to add versatility to his game. But now since this nigga game ain't predicated on athleticism and it's about actually learning how to play the game of basketball. He became a better passer, a better 3-point shooter, all of that type of shit. You know what I mean? But now y'all trying to discredit this nigga off of what he do on the basketball court when now he's a more complete basketball player. When he was over there in Clipperland, he was a great player, but he was a high flyer. Like he was straight entertainment. But now you can put this nigga with any team in the NBA who's a contender, and that nigga can really give you a real legitimate chance of winning a championship because he got versatility to his game now. You know what I mean? Like he's not a liability on the perimeter where you just know, oh, let Blake Griffin shoot the ball. Let Blake Griffin foul Blake Griffin and have him go to the free throw line. You remember that was the thing for Blake Griffin. Yeah. Foul this nigga and let him go to the free throw line. You know what I mean? So I don't understand what these niggas talking about. And that's why the shit sounded kind of trippy. And it's like the same thing they were trying to say about James Harden when he was playing in Houston. When he got out of shape and they were saying he was going to be playing ass, all this type of shit. But now, all of a sudden, Blake Griffin, like you see how James Harden games and flourish. He didn't want to be there. And I think it's the same thing with Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin didn't want to be over there with the Pistons. I mean, he wanted out. And when you playing around good players, it's contagious. You're not finna just play whatever. You're gonna step your game up because you know it's like how he said in his press conference. He said the only reason he's over here is to win a championship. That's his only goal. You know what I mean? So all these niggas gonna eat their words, man. So at the end of the day, I'm excited that Blake Griffin over there in Brooklyn because I think he gonna add so much depth to their team on so many different levels. You know what I mean? So I just can't wait to see how this shit pan out. But I know for a fact he's gonna be a starter and he's gonna be averaging around 14, 15 points a game. You know what I mean? But he don't need to average that much because
you think he's gonna start?
You know what I mean? Like hell yeah, he gonna start. He gonna start eventually. Like they ain't gonna start no Gerald Green. I mean, Jeff Green.
Yeah, because Jeff Green has to start. Yeah.
Jeff Green
really like bench, honestly,
he a better Jeff Green.
He a bigger version. Like he can do a lot. Like he can't guard as many positions, but offensive diversity, he can do a lot of the same stuff. And he a bigger body, so he can guard the 4 and the 5. You know what I'm saying? And come on, man. It's
exactly.
And like the NBA in Clipperland, like Lob City, LA, is not the NBA it is now, right? Like the whole thing with Blake and Chris Paul and all of that, like that situation, they were stuck in between eras. Like when they got originally put together, that was like the last of like the big and the perimeter player era. Like you get a big, you get a perimeter player.
Yeah.
And it was transitioning into the pace and space era. So they was kind of stuck in the gap because you had a big, but he wasn't like a complete big like a AD or a Garnett. They had the perimeter player,
right?
But he wasn't he couldn't affect the game, but in so many ways because he's 6 foot tall. You know what I'm saying? The traditional, you need that 6'6" to 6'8" guy that can, you know what I'm saying, that can affect the game in more ways. The Shaq and Kobe, you know what I'm saying, a bigger version of that. You know what I'm saying? A Magic and a Kareem, like you need that dynamic. So they was kind of stuck in the middle, but the NBA now, I mean, you can't count 5 skilled bigs on your hand. Embiid, Jokic, old boy in Orlando. I can't think of his name. Nurkic, is that his name? Old boy in Orlando. What's up, boy in Orlando name?
Vucevic.
Yeah, that. Whatever you just said.
Nurkic. Nurkic
Nurkic trash. You don't
in
even count.
Portland.
Nurkic trash though. I don't even.
Man, he ain't trash, bro.
He the pizza box. He was trash when they beat them. Look, last year when he played legitimate other bigs, he was trash. I don't care how good you are when you the only big on the floor. If you can't do that, think about it. Jokic had to work versus the White, but he still got his. You feel me? If you trash when it's another big, you trash. I'm sorry, he trash to me. Portland ain't got no better. They talked all that shit about Portland getting him. Portland is still a number 5, 4 seed, 6 seed. They ain't got no better since they got him.
I feel you, but like he's still a skilled big, though.
I'm not giving you him 3. It's 3.
All right. Even though I think he is, but whatever. We just gonna go with that. We gonna go with it. Go ahead. I ain't worried about it. Go ahead.
He a piece of box. That's the new way to say he's not trash. He just close to it. He a pizza box. He a pizza box when real players show up. When a real big show up, he a pizza box. Now,
so how about Giannis?
I give you him, that's still 4. I still can't count 5 skilled bigs. Oh, and I don't even.
How about Giannis? What about Giannis?
Giannis is a small forward. He ain't no big. I mean, when I say big,
that's not his position.
I'm talking about your game, not your size. Right? He don't post.
Oh, you talking about post players? You talking about post players?
Yeah.
You talking about post players?
Somebody that Blake got a guard in the post. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, because I mean that's like counting. If we gonna count Giannis as a big, that's like counting Ben Simmons as a big. He ain't no big. He's just a tall guard by game. So yeah, okay. But my point is, back when Blake was in Clipperland, it was what the power forward was way deeper. You still had Timmy was still in the league. Gasol and Kobe was in the league. Like the power forward still had some life. Like bigs had a little life left. They wasn't You know what I'm saying? They wasn't dead. Now, AD. We can count AD, right? Definitely got to count AD. He kind of play like a small forward a little bit, but that's somebody that he would have to guard. So yeah, AD. So that's 4. I don't know how the hell we forgot AD anyway. We should name him first. But yeah, and AD. But that's
no, I didn't forget.
Is that it?
I'm trying to really think.
That's at the 4 and the 5? That he would have to guard?
Yeah.
And we got the 4.
None in San Antonio. Lamar? No, not LaMarcus. I wouldn't say LaMarcus.
He don't post up for real. He should. He the 6'11". I call him 6'11" Melo. All he want to do is shoot that mid-range. All he want to do is shoot that mid-range, man.
Kind of, sort of.
But they not going to see them anyway.
That's about it.
They not going to see them when it matter no way. Like, the Spurs ain't going to get to Brooklyn in a game that matter. Anyway, they not getting – Spurs be lucky to get to the playoffs, most so get to the finals, though, so they still a non-factor anyway. But I said that to say that all he's going to have to do is box somebody out. He don't got a guard like that. Ain't nobody to guard.
He don't.
He ain't got a guard like that. All he got to do is put a body on some damn body. And he ain't been small ever, pause, but he ain't no lightweight. Like, he ain't no buck. He ain't no one of them 6'11", 200-pound motherfuckers. So
nah.
And another dynamic that people don't be understanding is trash is relative, right? Like for instance, if you take name a solid.
That's your word.
Because it applies to so much shit. That's why I can use it in so much context, man. I can. Like if you take a player that's a number 3 option and make him a number 1 option. Okay, perfect. Bobby Smurda, a.k.a. Reggie Jackson, right? When he was on the Pistons as the number 1 option, on the Pistons, he was trash.
He was trash.
He was flirting with you. He was either trash or he was the pizza box, right? Now that he at the Clippers, he might be number 3, 4, 5 option, right?
It might be a for real fifth option. Go ahead.
He a solid piece to a team, right? He a solid piece. You know what I'm saying? If he don't score that game, the Clippers will still win. It ain't nobody gonna be like, oh, what Reggie Jackson do? You know, you only get that if he played with LeBron. He only get that if he played with LeBron. But so you take Blake Griffin. You already know who the big three on that team is, right?
Yeah.
It's a guard-oriented team, so he gonna be and how they playing is everybody just get theirs. There's no like all that nonsense. The media be talking about, well, what if Kyrie don't get his touches? Like a nigga go into the game like, bro, I gotta touch this bitch. This ain't football where a receiver wants you to throw him the ball so many times and he be mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? They be killing me like Kyrie gonna be like, man, I ain't shoot the ball but this many times. Listen, if I can dribble it, I can always shoot it. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
It's like
that's the shit I don't be understanding.
It's like when AD have a bad game. It's the guard fault AD had a bad game because you didn't take the time to make sure he got the ball.
To pass that nigga the ball.
You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody gotta do that for Kyrie. He gonna have the ball and he can always get his shot off. So if he didn't shoot this but this many times, it's because he was making the right basketball plays and somebody else was taking them shots. You know what I'm saying? It ain't because he couldn't get a shot. Listen here. There's never a moment when Kyrie can't get a shot off. Never. You got to double team him with like Giannis and AD for him not to be able to get a shot off. He can always get a shot off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't the best shot. Because that's why the Nets been busting everybody.
It might not be the best shot, but he can get a shot off.
Yeah, he always can get a shot off.
Hell yeah.
Too much in his back. Guards can always get their shots off. Like, it's nothing.
Any player in the league can get their shot off, nigga. You know what I mean?
So it's like
he's in the league for a reason.
Exactly. So they be overstating that nonsense. Like, you know, that's like if me and you playing 2-on-2, you're gonna be like, bro, you shot it 4 more times than I did. Like, who even counting shots? Don't nobody play with analytics.
But listen,
hoopers don't play with analytics on their mind. Huh?
Hell no, man. That's only the weak ass, wily ass media, dog. But like, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't give a fuck. They only hold those rules to niggas that's, man, I'm gonna keep saying it. They only hold those rules to niggas that's outside of any team that LeBron is playing on. Like I said, it's just like you can have Dwayne Wade in his prime, Bosh in his prime, and LeBron in his prime. And ain't nobody in the media talking about who gonna get their touches when they was obviously, you know what I mean, like the focal point of they teams before they band together. It was like, oh man, this is great. Like this person can do this person can do that.
But this is the crazy part about that situation. Them was the only teams that actually really did have an odd man out on them. Them was the teams that
you're right.
Bosh and Love was
the odd man out.
It was the odd man out. They had to go turn into goddamn Channing Frye.
That's it. Don't you remember when they did that? Yeah. Yeah.
Bosh slowly but surely he started shooting that. Look, this was the transition.
Like, they go to tell you.
Bosh started shooting that. Remember he was shooting that free throw line jump shot? He was shooting that free throw line jump shot first. Then he slowly started working his way to that 3-point line. And that was pretty much it after that. So I think that Blake pickup is gonna help. Because they just need a body. It ain't even about who it is. Like they just need bigger bodies. That's all they just need. They just need players that are a power forward by stature.
You think DeAndre Jordan? Man, listen here. These niggas talking about this nigga can't dunk no more. Man, this nigga 6'9", 6'10". Man, watch this. Watch all these motherfuckers look retarded as fuck once this nigga start. Nigga, you think DeAndre Jordan getting alley-oops off the motherfucking dive into the rim, off from pick and roll action? You know what I mean? Man, nigga, they gonna hit Blake with so many pick and rolls. And now he can pick and pop. Man, get the fuck out of here. Man, these niggas about to get their ass, boy. And then nigga like you having Kevin Durant on the weak side with this nigga on the man, get the fuck, man.
So hold on.
Oh, these niggas about to be blazing.
So you trying to say that they're gonna be throwing Blake lobs again?
Watch, yes.
So you think he got a little bounce left?
Man, come the fuck on, man.
You think I'm
watch?
I'm playing devil's advocate right now.
Yes, 100%, nigga. You telling me that this nigga?
This is what I'm gonna say.
You telling me?
Go ahead.
You telling me that this 6'9", you telling me that this 6'9", 6'10" NBA player, after all his spectacular dunks he done did in history, you can put him up there with the Vince Carters, right?
In game.
For as dynamic dunkers. In game.
He in that conversation.
You telling me all of a sudden, nigga, I just seen some highlights from 2019 where he was still putting it on niggas' heads when he was in Detroit. So you telling me all of a sudden this nigga just turned into, this nigga just lost his dunking powers like on some Space Jam shit? Fuck out of here. No way, bro. No way. You can't tell me that. I'm the first to say it. Watch. If not the first game, the second game, he's going to prove to anybody in the media who been saying he haven't dunked in 2 years, Nick wrong ass, Nick wrong bitch ass, all these niggas, dog.
What do that matter? Like, Nurkic can barely dunk, and he still get buckets. Like, what do it matter?
That's the way that they discredit. They just trying to discredit the nigga. That's it. That's it. They just trying to discredit the nigga.
What do it matter?
I never knew dunking. Like, what does it matter? What does it matter?
Dunks are worth 2 points.
What does it matter?
Hold on, wait. How many points dunks worth? 2. Right?
Last time I checked, it was worth 2.
How many points are layups worth?
Yeah.
How many points are layups worth?
Last time I checked, it was 2, bro.
So it really don't matter, long as the ball go in the basket. And man, listen. Anytime you got 3 unguardables, right? 3 unguardables on your team.
Mm-hmm.
All you need with that shit, with 2 unguardables for real, but when you got 3, that's just insult to industry. All you need with that is players you gotta respect, so you can't double.
Right.
All you need is players to keep the defense honest. That's it. You don't need no more than that. And Blake is still, listen, to me, Blake has always been underrated, in my personal opinion. He's always been underrated. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has always been underrated. So I feel like he gonna have, listen, this is what I think. It's gonna be some games where, like, say if like 1 or 2 out of the 3 sit, man, Blake gonna fuck around and get 20, 15, and 6 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Blake gonna fuck around and have a game on their ass. And then they're gonna be like, they're gonna act like that, like, oh, he what, they're gonna act like, oh my God, I don't know. Listen, man. You don't think NBA players be like, fuck it too? Like, you in Detroit, you don't want to be there, you're injured, you ain't playing for shit. Like, why am I about to go out here and kill myself? For what? My body is my bag. I'm about to go out here and do all this to still not compete for nothing? Like, for what? Logically, that don't make sense. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not condoning, like, not playing for real and all of that, but it's like, they're people. They're not machines. Like they think like we think that. You don't think it crossed his mind like, man, I'm not about to go out here and kill myself for this bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like for what? I don't even want to be here no more. Cause they the Pistons, bro. They get good once a decade on accident. They throw.
And he didn't want to be there anyway.
Yeah,
he didn't want to be there.
Who the fuck do?
So, but like, look, the nigga didn't want to be there for the jump. Blake Griffin didn't want to be there for the jump. I remember that it was rumblings that Blake Griffin was wanting to get his ass up out of there when he got traded there. He didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? After you leaving Los Angeles, you end up going to Detroit. Nigga, you know your whole career fucked up. You know what I mean? But he was a professional about it, and the nigga played.
Right. That's Detroit is the career it's the career graveyard.
It's the graveyard.
Man, they might as well be a damn G League team. That's the G League.
And you straight up, nigga, it's full of graveyards. And guess what? That nigga trying to dig himself up out the grave.
He trying to
be like Mike Jack and Thriller.
He trying to pull a Thriller, bitch. You said it fucking said. He trying to pull a Thriller like, no, I ain't dead yet.
He trying to pull a Thriller.
I ain't dead yet, goddamn. Y'all ain't gonna have me out this motherfucker, bro. Like, I got a little sauce left. I got a little juice left.
Right.
So I hope
you got a little juice.
I hope the first, like one of the first plays, it be him and James Harden, right? Pick and roll. James hit him with the pocket daddy, and he put that bitch right on somebody's head. I'm talking about the mean bitch though, like the shoulder, boom, contact, head.
A bitch. And man, I hope that boy, I'm telling you, listen here. Mark my words. The first, either the first game or the second game, I believe this nigga gonna bang the fuck out. Watch.
I mean, listen, man. I feel like as long as
he's healthy,
man, he still got some bounce left, man. Listen, the difference is a lot of times the difference when you get older, you don't have as many jumps, but you still can get up. Old man, listen, Vince Carter was in his late 30s, still getting up. He was still windmilling and all of that. Now, he only had maybe 2 jumps a game, but them was 2. He saved them. He saved them, goddamn, for the right moment, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. You got anything else you want to add on this big fella?
Nah, not really. You know what I mean? But just everybody in Cooler Talk world. You know what I mean? Understand me.
You understand?
Blake Griffin is going to be a beast. Watch. He's going to be a beast. Watch. Off top. All this is watch shit. I want y'all to keep that same energy when this nigga start digging out these 20-point type of performances every motherfucking night or every other night or however the situation is. Just wait until this nigga start digging out these 20-point performances here and there.
And this is what I don't.
I mean, I want y'all to keep the same energy, same watch.
I don't want to hear none of that big four shit either. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear none of that big four stack shit. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear none of that stack season shit, nigga. This ain't stack season, bitch. I want y'all to keep that same motherfucking energy. Brooklyn. Yeah.
All right. We get at y'all. We get at y'all on the next one.
You already know, baby. And it's like that.